Hello, guys, and welcome back to the FPL Duo. It is the deadline stream for Game Week 24. So, morning to everyone. Hope everyone's well. We're going to discuss all things FPL with our team, transfers, and all that stuff about Game Week 24. How you doing, Jordan? Everything good?
Yeah, very good. This fine, nice morning. Hope everyone else is having a nice evening, morning, or night, wherever you are in the world. But hopefully you have a nice weekend and hopefully we get to see some exciting, controversial football.
Yeah, we're going to bring up our teams and we're going to discuss, only transfer plans because there's a bit of to talk about, and also captain options we're going to discuss. So I'll bring my team up first on the screen. I'll just read through the players. I'm not going to go into their fixtures too much and who they've got. So I've got Ward in goal, who's got Man United. I've got the back three of Trippier, White, and Luke Shaw. I've got Martinelli, Kevin De Bruyne, Rashford, Saka, and Mahrez. Then up front, I've got Haaland and Mitrovic. Haaland is my captain, and my vice captain, I'll probably put it on De Bruyne, someone like that. That is my vice. And obviously the main issue with my team right now is Mitrovic is flagged. I would be tempted to hold Mitrovic, but the problem is if he doesn't start, I've got no bench. So I've got Greenwood, I've got Mings, and I've got Patterson on the bench, and it's not a great bench. I know Patterson isn't actually flagged anymore. FPL have to update that. Patterson is back training. He trained yesterday or the day before yesterday with the under-21s. He played a match. So Patterson is back from injury. Mings as well should be clear as well. So, I could just hold on to Mitrovic and have 2 free transfers next weekend. So, yeah, I know Mitrovic is going to go next week, potentially. I'll just have to decide on who. So if we look at Mitrovic, I'm tempted to hold on to him because his expected goals against Nottingham Forest was 0.89. So if you look at it in every game, it's very high, even when he plays. So he could easily score against Brighton. It is more of an open game with the way Brighton play. So I don't think that's a bad fixture for Mitrovic. But obviously, whether he starts is not 100% likely. The other worry is Man City have a Champions League game midweek coming up. So there is potentially rotation at play with Man City. Players like KDB, players like Mahrez, etc. There could be potential benchings for them. So that is the worry. And obviously I have Mahrez and KDB, so maybe one of them gets benched. We don't know. And if they do, obviously it's bad for my team because I don't really have a bench. But they could come on even if they don't start. Let's say KDB doesn't start, he can come on. If Mahrez doesn't start, he can come on. But it's not ideal. If I get any early team news that KDB is benched, I might remove him for someone like Mo Salah who doubles in Game Week 25. So yeah, that's the current thinking, is to roll. But the current thinking is to roll, but it does worry me that Mitrovic is flagged. KDB, Mahrez, because there's a Champions League on Tuesday or Wednesday they play. There's going to be some potential resting rotation with Man City. Other than that, my team is set. I'm going to talk about my plans. So let me bring up my team. So this is what I was thinking. I was actually thinking to remove Mitrovic this week because he might not play, and bring in Darwin. Obviously, this is a tough fixture for Darwin this weekend against Newcastle, but it was more about next week, and I'll just be doing the transfer early. So next week, he does have a double against Palace and Wolves. So that's what I was thinking. Maybe I can bring him in now, see how he does against Newcastle, but then that will be locking myself into Darwin, and I won't be able to get any other Liverpool. Like, I won't be able to get Trent, for example, if I have Darwin. And I don't know if I want to do that route. to go down and lock myself into Darwin when I could get Trent next week. Um, so that's the dilemma I have. Next week also I will be doing KDB to Salah. I'm pretty sure. So do something like that, and then even maybe um, can't do Shaw out. I could do if I don't get Darwin in, let's say I get Felix in this week. How Felix comes in, I get Salah next week, and then I can do someone like Luke Shaw up to. Can I afford Trent? Yeah, I can. I could do Trent in. Have my double Liverpool that way with the double. Obviously, Man United blanked in 25, and I don't plan to use my free hit. So that's why I could look to bring in some Liverpool players. So the problem is, I have to choose between Felix and Darwin this week. If I choose Felix, that allows me for Trent. If I choose Darwin, that means I can't get Trent. So that's why I'm not sure what to do. I don't want to lock myself into Darwin or Trent either way because I think I want to wait another week's worth of information, see how both of them play, before I go for one of them, if that makes sense. So I could just roll and pray Mitrovic does something. If not, hopefully Mings or Patterson are on the bench. I think Mings should start today against Arsenal. But yeah, that's the plans. I'm gonna read a few questions out, a few coming in. Jenny Berry, hi guys, do you think Mahrez will start? We've touched on Mahrez. I've seen some predicted lineups with Mahrez not in it. If I'm being honest, I've seen some that doesn't include Mahrez, so maybe that could worry a few people. But if you have Mahrez, I would definitely start him because even if he doesn't start, he could come on because we know that Champions League game is important for Man City, and Pep will want to play his best players, and Mahrez is definitely one of Man City's best players this season so far. So he could be rested for that game. That does worry me. They play on Wednesday against Leipzig, so yeah, he could get rested. Hopefully we hear any team news, but it doesn't look like we're gonna get it. Obviously, Jordan, you are planning bringing Mahrez in. I'll come on to you in a sec, whether that changes any of your thoughts about bringing him in. Fatality says, "Hi, KDB starting. Maybe go early into Salah, captain Rashford this week." KDB, we don't know if he's 100% going to start. I've seen predicted lineups where he is starting, so I'm going to keep him unless we get early team news. If he's out, sorry, not out. If he's benched and we hear early he's benched, 100% moving into Mo Salah makes sense. I think that's an obvious move you'll do if KDB is benched, but I don't think he is. He should be fine. I think with that Champions League game, we always know with City and Pep rotation, there is that it could happen. Hi, do you think Martinez is going to play the Man United Lisandro? Jordan, have you heard anything on Lisandro?
Well, he did play in his last game with 22 minutes against Leeds, but other than that, he did play the full 90, 6 game weeks in a row. So I think he will play and start in the Leicester game. I don't see why he wouldn't.
He played against Barca.
Yeah, he played against Barcelona as well. Yeah, I don't see why he won't start. I think he's going to play. I haven't heard anything otherwise why he
No,
shouldn't.
he didn't start against Barca. I've just checked the lineup. He didn't start against Barcelona. He was actually he didn't start.
Okay.
It was Varane and Luke Shaw played centre back. Then Malacia played left back. I'm just gonna check in terms of I'm gonna check the actual his fixtures and when he did play because he played 29 minutes against Leeds in the game week 23, but then he played 90 minutes pretty much in game week 22 double. He played 90 minutes against Arsenal. He played 90 minutes against Palace, so he should start. But yeah, missing that game against Barcelona probably means he will play 90 minutes against this weekend against Leicester. Should I start Mbeumo over Martinelli? I'll let you take this one.
I probably would start Mbeumo over Martinelli. just because I think Mbemo will get more points than Martinelli will, as Martinelli doesn't play full 90 minutes for starters. He does rotate with Trossard, and with his previous form for Martinelli, it's not been great. About 6 blanks in a row for him, and there's probably more upside for Mbemo. They might have a better fixture because they do have Crystal Palace.
Okay.
And it being a home fixture as well, it could be more benefit for going to Mbemo because Martinelli does have an away fixture at Aston Villa. So that is one of those tricky fixtures where I don't know if Martinelli will get much from that game. And his minutes are balanced too.
I still think I'd start Martinelli if I had him. If you are planning on, benching Martinelli, then I'll just transfer him out at this rate. I wouldn't bench Martinelli. If you got him, you play him. If not, just take him out of the team, I think. Kwanda, hi lads, I think Felix is worth a go. Yeah, I definitely think he could be worth a go. We've mentioned him on the buy, sell, hold video. If you look at Felix, I think Felix is a good pick. It's an interesting pick because you look at his fixtures. Game week 24, he has Southampton at home. Obviously, this game week, which is a nice game. He has a fixture in game week 25 against Spurs, and when other players will be blanking, like Manchester United, etc. Then he's got Leeds, he's got Leicester, he's got Everton. So those games up until game even 29, Aston Villa, Wolves, game week 30 potentially. Felix is a very nice hold. The problem with Felix, in terms of my team bringing him in, it would lock me out of Darwin potentially, or I'll have to take an extra transfer to take him out. So it'll be like booking a transfer in if I want Darwin. So if you don't want Darwin for double 25 and you prefer to have Salah and Trent, then I definitely think João Felix is a good move to navigate that blank 25 and have a fixture, with the high upside. Southampton, he can easily score against Southampton. He's still a bit of a differential. He's had a lot of transfers in, but 3.7%, high upside. Mitrovic to João Felix can make sense, guys. Definitely, I think if you're looking to take Mitrovic out. Jenny, thank you for thank you for your thoughts. No worries. We always appreciate you guys joining the chat. Rashford or Haaland captain? Yeah, sorry, Fatali. We're going to get onto this one. Rashford or Haaland captain? I'm on Haaland. Now, I do believe there's a good argument to captain someone like a Rashford this week. You look at Rashford; he scored again midweek against Barcelona in the Europa League. He's on form. He's on fire. Scored in his last 4 Premier League games in a row. Blanked against Palace, but before that he scored, in another 4. So he's got 8 Premier League goals in his last 9 games. So definitely a good option. He's got Leicester at home, good fixture for him. Leicester have looked a bit better, but they don't look, they still concede goals here and there. So I can see Rashford scoring 1, even 2. So I do think he's a good option, but I would be afraid to go against Haaland, if I'm honest, because Haaland's got Nottingham Forest. Haaland is fit. He should play in that game. And if Haaland's fit, I still worry going against him, if I'm being honest. But if you are, chasing rank, maybe you're outside, like even me, like outside the top 500k, then you could make sense to go with Rashford. But the way it is, in terms of, I went against Haaland in Game Week 9 and it just destroyed my rank. So I think if Haaland's fit, I'm going to captain Haaland, but I definitely hear an argument for Rashford. I know, Jordan, you're on Rashford. Are you still on Rashford?
I've changed it to Haaland now. I've changed for mine. I think what's put me off is Rashford playing midweek. I know Man City also did as well, but
Man City didn't. They play, obviously, Champions League on Wednesday.
Oh yeah, sorry. Then yeah, I think Haaland has more rest than Rashford would have.
Yep.
As he'd play midweek as well, so maybe.
Oh, sorry, no, they played Arsenal, didn't they? My bad. I thought you meant in Europe. They played Arsenal on the double game week. I thought you meant Europe.
Then, yeah, I don't know who to go for. It's a tricky question. I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with either one.
Rashford played on the Thursday, of course, against Barcelona, and then Haaland played against Arsenal on the Wednesday. So a day difference, but I don't know if that will come into our thinking much. I don't know. It might for you.
No.
But so you're planning on playing. You're planning on going Haaland then.
Yeah, I just think because of his ownership, well, if he gets anything, it's a bad red arrow unless Rashford does well. But you have to ensure that Rashford does well if you go against Haaland. That's the only thing. But I'm just gonna play it safe and go Haaland again.
Okay.
I think.
Yash Pal, Trippier, or Nketiah. Um, sure. I'd play both. Surely you have someone else you could bench ahead of those two. I'd look to be playing both. Is Perisic too risky to start? I don't think so. He should start if he's fit. I mean, I assume he is fit, so he should be fine for a start. Mare Larson, Almiron, Ben White, Kilman, start two, bench one. Kilman and Almiron start. I think I'd bench Ben White.
Yeah, I'll do the
Possibly.
same. Tillman has Bournemouth, so there's more likely of a clean sheet there. Ben White, on the other hand, I don't think there's a clean sheet for Arsenal away in the Aston Villa fixture. And obviously, Almiron, you want to play the attacking player over a defender because there's more upside, I think, playing the attacker, even though Almiron
Yeah.
has Liverpool. And he's just come back from a wrist injury, which he seems to be fine now. So I'll probably start the same Almiron and Kilman.
Fazid, pick a bench order for these. Gurhi, Andreas, Gunonto, Dunk, White. Bench order. Probably Andreas has got Brighton. Gunonto plays Everton. Brighton have Fulham, and White has Villa, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Brighton have, I think,
Fulham.
yeah, Fulham.
Yeah, Brighton, Fulham. I'd probably play Gurhi. Who's Gurhi got again? Is who did Palace play again? Is it Brentford, isn't it?
Yeah, Brentford.
Um, Probably Andreas, Gononto. Actually, Gononto first, then Andreas, then probably someone like a Dunk. But yeah, I'd want to play at Gononto. I think, especially against Everton. I am captaining Ben Mee. Is that fine? I'm not. I don't know. I wouldn't do it. But if you want to do captaining Ben, sorry, not Ben White. Why is it Ben White? Ben Mee. Um,
If you feel like he's going to get a really good score, then why not? He did get a
yeah,
14-pointer or 30-pointer last against Southampton. So he
yeah.
could get
I'm not
something.
sure. I'd go there, but
It's
no.
different.
Yeah, it could pay off for you. Let's just bring up your team anyway, Jordan. Just read us through the players that's starting for you.
Okay, so starting goal, we do have Edison, who has not the Forest away. Kind of hoping there should be a clean sheet from that game. I'll be very annoyed if Man City can't even keep a clean sheet. It's not the Forest, even though it's an away fixture. Lining up with the back three, we got Shaw, who's got Leicester at home. A nice fixture for Man United at home. Trippier, who's also got a home fixture against Liverpool. We'll be interested to see if Newcastle could keep a clean sheet as Liverpool have gained a bit more form after that winning 2-0 against Everton. And we got Ben White as the last defender who's got Aston Villa away. He's potentially in my transfer plans. Moving on to the midfield, we got Fernandes and Rashford, who both have Leicester at home. Very good fixture for both of those, as they've been really good for my team, getting a lot of points since bringing them in after the World Cup. So hopefully they can get some more points in that fixture. Next, we've got Matoma, who's got Fulham at home. Very nice fixture for Matoma. Even though he does blank in 25, he does have a double confirmed in 27 against Leeds and Crystal Palace. So, yeah, he's one to, I'll say, hold. I think if you're sort of trying to get out of it by transfers or a free hit. Next, we got Martinelli. He's got Aston Villa away. Again, another player who's in my potential transfers, as I'm not happy with his blanks now. He's underperformed quite a bit now, and it's become at the point where I think he's worth taking out the team. At the front, we've got the front three of Tony. He's got Crystal Palace at home. Nice fixture for Tony, I think, for home. I think he can do well, as Crystal Palace have struggled a bit, especially with Zaha being out of the team in the previous game weeks. It has led to them being a bit dried up for goals. He has also a double coming up after the blank in 25 and double game at 27. So definitely another player I'll be holding on to. Next, we've got Haaland, who has Nottingham Forest away, and he is currently my captain. Now, I think someone said in the previous streams that Nottingham Forest have sustained a lot of injuries after their game played in the previous game week. So this could be an advantage for Man City, especially for Haaland. If they're struggling with injuries, then maybe Man City can pretty much walk over them. But it's going to be not an easy fixture as it is away for Man City. And finally, we've got Nketiah, who completes the triple Arsenal with Aston Villa away. And yeah, it's another good fixture for Nketiah. It's going to be a massive game, I think, because it is going to decide who takes, obviously, that top spot, because Arsenal only have one game ahead of Man City. And if they do lose and Man City win, then obviously it's a different story to tell in terms of who's first in the Premier League table. So Arsenal do have one more chance, really, to get those 3 points, which they really need, because they haven't won a game in the past 3 matches. So this will be an important game for all Arsenal players.
What are the planned transfers you're going to make? You've got 2 free transfers. What are in your thoughts in that sense?
Well, I'll just speak about my bench because it does include a player on the bench in the transfer plans. I'll just quickly go through it. So we've got Mezia, who's got Everton away. Dunk, who's got Fulham at home. Ben Mee, who's got Crystal Palace at home. And Aaron, who's got Liverpool at home. Now, my transfer plans, I'll switch over to the next window so you can see what I want to do. So, yeah, I have 2 free transfers, and I've got 6.5 money remaining in the bank. Now, I've been going through my head what to do because I wasn't really clear. It wasn't really a clear decision that I made coming up to this idea, but I have changed it again. And I am going to take out, as one of my first transfers, take out Ben White as my first plan, and bring in Kilman for Wolves. Reason being that is because I don't want Ben White long term now, especially the double that's coming up after game week 24. I want triple Arsenal, but preferably I want all attackers rather than a defender, because I think Ben White now, his minutes, I don't think he'll play both in that double against Leicester and Everton. I think he'll be benched like he was before in one of the double game week fixtures. So that is my reasoning for taking Ben White out, because I don't think he'll play full 90 minutes in both of those double game week fixtures. So I'm bringing in Kilman, who also has a double in 25. He does have Fulham and Liverpool, but I like the fixture that he has coming up, which is Bournemouth. And I think there is a possibility that Wolves could potentially get a clean sheet in that game. So that is also why I decided to bring Kilman in as my first free transfer. Now I'm going to use my second transfer, and the plan is to get rid of Martinelli, as that's probably kind of guessed, and bringing in Saka. And a lot of you, if you watched the team selection, you would have known that I was going to do this plan. It was set in stone. I was pretty 100% confident with doing this transfer. And yeah, bringing Saka in, I think, is ideal. Coming up to the double game week, I want to have preferably Saka, Nketiah, and Odegaard in the Arsenal triple up going forward into that Leicester and Everton fixture. I don't think it's worth taking a hit, which I originally wanted to do, because I'm going to free hit anyway in blank game week 25. So I think using 2 free transfers is probably the better idea, which is bringing in Kilman and Saka. And I still have a bit of money left, 4.7 million. So it's still not enough to change the team. But yeah, that is my transfer plans going forward.
Just a quick or little comment from me. If you're gonna free hit in 25, you can
Yeah.
already just bring in any triple Arsenal you want. So wouldn't it make sense as well to potentially bring in someone like a Felix who has a good fixtures in 24, 26, 27? Because you can navigate 25 if you're going to free hit and bring in the players you want anyway. So if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it is going to be difficult picking, obviously, the forward spot because Harden and Ketia are definitely set in stone. That only leaves me with one forward, which is that Tony spot. It's either going to be Felix or Watkins to fill that little gap. It just
Mm.
depends on which one I prefer in
I
that
mean,
forward spot.
you could also always Darwin doubles,
Yeah,
etc. Um, I know Everton double, Wolves double. Um, so yeah, you'll have a few options on that free hit next
yeah,
week.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm not too confident. I think I have to see it with Darwin because I know we said that he's eventually going to score, and yet he's kind of still hasn't because obviously he got injured. Now he's back, and he did get an assist in his last
Yeah,
game. But I am still waiting for a goal from Darwin. If I don't really see that against potentially Newcastle, or really if he's missing chances still, he's potentially not a forward I'll probably go for if he's not clinical.
yeah. I think I'm a big fan of Darwin for that double coming up in 25. I could go to him or Trent is my decision. Obviously, we'll talk about Game Week 25 more in the coming days. But yeah, for me, I'm a big fan of Darwin for that double. I haven't really owned him much this season, but I think it could be time to bring him in for me. But we'll see. Play Odegaard or Fernandez, says Paulo. Both. Uh, Arsenal have Villa. Fernandez has Leicester. You don't want to be benching either. Thoughts on starting Lewis over White? Yeah, I'd probably start Lewis as well.
Yeah,
I think Lewis should play today. So yeah, I'd probably start Lewis. Uh, Michael says Kepa or Edison, who to start? Kepa has who does Kepa have again? I'm just gonna look at the fixture.
Southampton,
Southampton, isn't it? Yeah. And Edison has
Nottingham Forest.
Nottingham Forest. So two nice fixtures for both, really. I'd probably start Edison, but Edison, I don't know with Edison. Like Man City seem to concede every game now. And Edison doesn't get many save points because Edison barely makes a save. He may make one save here and there, but it's either he keeps a clean sheet or he doesn't because he doesn't pick up save points because Man City have the ball most of the time. Whereas Kepa, he gets a lot of save points because he does have a lot of shots on goal against him. So I don't know who I'd play. I'd probably Edison, maybe, but yeah, I don't know. What about you as an Edison owner? Because it's been frustrating, I think, for Edison owners owning him.
It has been frustrating. I mean, I was expecting many more clean sheets from Man City, but it's been really bad. I mean, let's just check when their last clean sheet was. The last clean sheet for Man City, well, it was against Wolves in 21. But apart from that, it was game week 19. So there has been a few gaps in between where they've conceded to teams you expect a clean sheet, like I'll say Leeds and Leicester, even Fulham. These type of games, Man City would keep a clean sheet against, but at the moment, it's not been great for them in terms of clean sheets. They're winning
Yeah.
games but conceding. So hopefully, I'll say it's his last straw for Edison. If he can't keep a clean sheet against not the Forest or Bournemouth, then he's probably worth taking out or starting someone else.
So would you start Kepa or Edison if you had
I'll,
to pick?
I'll start Edison for the next two.
Okay, cool. Play Lewis or Trippier. I'll play Trippier regardless of his fixture against Liverpool. Wan-Bissaka or Dan Burn. Wan-Bissaka may not play and Dan Burn may concede a goal. If that's the only options out of those two, then you probably want to play Dan Burn, I'd say. Delo could play in that one. Luke Shaw has been playing centre back as well. So, I'd probably play Dan Burn. Who would you bench? White, Trippier, Gakpo, Shaw, Ake. Wouldn't want to bench Gakpo if you own him because he's a differential. And he did score his first goal last weekend for Liverpool. So I'd play him. I'd play Trippier. I'd play White. If out of those, I'd probably bench Ake because Ake is one that is a rotation risk this week because Champions League is coming on Wednesday. He's probably expected to play that. I'd expect Ruben Diaz and Laporte to play today. So Ake is the one I think is a rotation risk. So I'd bench him. And you definitely want to play Gakpo because he's a forward, more upside playing a striker than a defender like a White. So yeah, that's what I'd do. I'll let you take this one, Jordan. Which Man City defender to buy? I can't play both Odegaard or Fernandes. Could play both if I keep Nketiah on the bench. Well, you have a very strong team then.
Yeah, you must have a strong team. Like my bench is like, I'm honestly not a fan of any Man City defender, but if I had to choose which one to buy, that's really tough. Who I choose
I
to
wouldn't
buy?
I wouldn't really go to Man City defense right now, probably.
No, I honestly wouldn't. I wouldn't know who to really buy for Man City defender.
I mean, fixtures wise, isn't bad. Forest, Bournemouth, Newcastle, Palace, West Ham. There's some nice fixtures coming up for them, but as we said, they're not keeping as many clean sheets. Maybe Edison because he's the only one that's nailed. Because Ake might miss out today, so I would have said Ake, but when the Champions League games around, then Ake is a bit of a risk. So I'd say Edison if you're looking to get a defender in and just be safe and knowing he's going to play every game. But we've also discussed it's been a bit frustrating holding Edison and so I wouldn't bring any Man City defender in if I'm being honest. I'd be looking elsewhere.
Yeah, sorry, Paolo. We can't really answer that question because we can't really say which City defender to buy because we're not really sure who's gonna really play.
I'll be looking to bring in like Kilman or Tarkowski of Everton, who does have a game in 25, who has a double. So I'll be looking to bring in defenders that actually double in 25 rather than Man City defenders. Odegaard or Fernandes, if you had to pick one this week, I'd probably play Fernandes. If I had to pick.
I would pick Fernandes too.
Dan says, morning, guys. Morning to you, Dan.
Morning, Dan.
There's about half an hour left till the deadline. Switch it back to my team. Yeah, I think I'm gonna roll, even though there's 3 players at risk for my team. Which is KDB is at risk of being benched. Not as likely as Mahrez, but Mahrez is at risk of being benched because of the Champions League game. And even Mitrovic is at the risk of being benched because he's currently flagged. So it could be a pretty, I don't know what week to expect. It could be a bad week, but I'm hoping that if one of them does get benched, the Man City midfielders, they come on and score potentially. But I think KDB should be fine. But we've seen Pep. You can't really predict what he's going to do. Would you hold on to Mitrovic, Jordan, if you're in my position? Because he is flagged. The plan is Mitrovic to Darwin or Felix, one of them. If I bring Felix in, it allows me to bring Trent potentially next weekend in the double. If I bring Darwin in, then that stops me from bringing Trent in, and that locks me in for having Darwin in Gameweek 25 with a double. Or would you just leave Mitrovic and pray he starts? Because there are rumors that he could be fine because we've seen this before this season. Mitrovic has always been a doubt in many games, but he ends up starting anyway.
Yeah, he is a funny one, Mitrovic, whenever he's talked about with an injury. Personally, I'd probably get rid of Mitrovic if because I'd be too worried about obviously the bench is flags and
Yeah.
non-playing players that don't play full minutes. So I would probably play it safe and take him out just to have that comfort of mind that I've got a player who's going to start and is not going to be benched. Because if Mitrovic is benched, he'll probably only get like a 1 or 2 pointer.
Yeah.
So I don't really expect him to score coming off of the bench. Same with Mahrez as well. I don't expect him to do anything when if he is benched as well, and potentially Kevin De Bruyne, but I doubt he will be benched.
Mm. Yeah,
So
that's the worry.
yeah, that is the worry because as well as I don't see Arsenal keeping a clean sheet because Ben White could potentially blank. You got Ward who could potentially blank against Man United away because there's a clean sheet there. Even Trippier against Liverpool, that might not be a clean sheet because Liverpool picked up form. So there is a few, I'll say, minor issues and um, things to sort out, but the priority is Mitrovic, whether he
Yeah.
starts or not. I mean, at least he makes the bench. We can assure that he will start on the bench.
Also, with this Mings flag, Mings is fit. I know his FPL haven't updated his website. He should start against Arsenal today. I don't expect him to keep a clean sheet, but he should still play. So worst comes to worst, I'll get 2 points off him. Greenwood
Uh,
won't play. I don't think he might come on for like 2-3 minutes, which is what he usually does near the end of the game. But he's not a great option to have. And then Patterson, I don't know if he'll. I don't think he'll start, but he'll be on the bench, Patterson. But he is back to full fitness, I believe, as well. Um,
yeah,
but it might be too soon for a start because what's his name? Coleman is still playing well for Everton, so I can't see Patterson starting soon. So yeah, Mings is the only one really that could play for me if Mitrovic is benched, and that's before going on to De Bruyne and Mahrez. I've not seen any news regarding Mahrez or De Bruyne. Has there been any early team news, guys? Because I've not seen any.
we're in response to Tyrone Mings. It, it was said that he's returned to training and will be assessed ahead of the Arsenal match.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he does make the bench or the starting 11.
I've seen, to be honest, I've seen some news regarding Mins that he'll play, but we'll have to see. Um, we'll have to see. Well, I think he'll be fine. Um, but yeah, let me know what your thoughts are, guys, on the team, on my team. Would you take Mitrovic out if you're in my position with not a very good bench, or would you? Because I still think next week, game week 25, is going to be an important week. For a lot of managers, and I think if you can save a transfer, it's best to save a transfer because, as I said, you're going to have Liverpool that double. You're going to have Arsenal that double. You're going to have Wolves that double. You're going to have Everton that double. You're going to have Man United that blank, Newcastle that blank. So that's a lot of. A lot of us have triple Man United and double Wolves. Or double Newcastle. So we're going to have to use transfers on taking out Manchester United players, bringing in Liverpool players, maybe bringing in some Wolves players, because that's going to be the week to attack. So I do want to save a transfer because I want to drastically change my team next weekend, where I bring in a Salah, I bring in a Darwin potentially, and do that. So yeah, that's the reasoning between why I'm tempted to save a transfer because next week or next game week, sorry, um, I plan to make a few changes in regards to Liverpool and bringing them back in potentially. But I don't want to overcommit and bring Darwin in now because if he's not a good option and doesn't look good or he gets injured, it's a worry. Um, Audrius, best goalkeeper for 3 game weeks. Assuming you mean game week 24, game week 25, and game week 26. What about Pickford? Just because he had a double in 25.
I'm not really a fan of Everton. Their clean sheet record is terrible this season.
I would still go Pickford. Even though, what's the clean sheet saying? He's not kept many clean sheets at all, really.
Yeah, that's definitely why I'm not bringing in Pickford, because that record Everton have for clean sheets is bad.
But I'll give the argument, or why you maybe could consider Pickford, is because Leeds in game 24, then Villa and Arsenal in a double. So that's mainly why I've said Pickford, because he has a double. And then Forest as well in 26, and then Brentford in 27. Without that double, I'll probably say no, not Pickford. But because he has a double, he could be a option that you want to go for short term. But I don't know why you'd want to make a goalie transfer anyway. But if you are, maybe Pickford. Let me know what you guys think. Start Martinelli, Bueno, or Andreas. Martinelli still got Villa. He'll start. He should play at least 60 minutes, I'd assume. You never know. Trossard playing well, so I'll be surprised if Martinelli does get benched. But yeah, I'd still play Martinelli with that ownership. Justin says triple captain Haaland against Forest. Not really thought about it much, if I'm being honest. Triple captaining Haaland this week. Usually we save it for a double, but we've seen this season in a single game week, Haaland has outscored his double game weeks, where he's got hat tricks in against Wolves, etc. Early on in the season, he also got a couple of hat tricks in single game weeks. Yeah, you could, Haaland could definitely go and score a hat trick against Forest. He's proven it this season, but I still wait potentially for a double. But as a single game week, Forest have sort of fixed up their defense in recent weeks, but there are, there was talk there's a few injuries in their defense, so maybe Man City could put a couple past Forest due to centre backs being injured for Forest. But now I'd wait for a double. But if you are looking for a single game week to captain Haaland, it could be against Forest. Thinking of selling Nketiah or Odegaard, which should I? Says Paulo. If I had to sell one of those, it'd probably be Odegaard right now. I'd probably rather hold on to Nketiah because there's less forward options than midfield options. But, I'd probably hold on to both really going into game 25 when they double. But, and coming to your question, thinking of selling them for an Arsenal defender, I don't know if I would sell it for Arsenal defender. I'd rather probably have those two. So, but if you did want to sell one, I'd probably sell Odegaard ahead of Nketiah, which might sound mad to people, but because I'd rather have Saka in midfield than Odegaard. So, yeah, that's my thoughts. Jordan, do you want to add to that? Because you own Nketiah as well.
Yeah, exactly the same reasoning. Nketiah takes up a forward spot, and I'd probably want that midfield spot free if I'd had Saka or someone else from Arsenal. For the time being, I probably want to keep Nketiah in and get rid of Odegaard. But for an Arsenal defender, the complete opposite to that question, on the other hand.
Yeah. Also, what was I going to say? I'll let you lock your transfers in because, deadline is soon. So I'll let you do you might as well do your transfers.
Yeah. Let me just confirm the transfer. So, yeah.
Apparently, there's no Reece James, Thiago Silva, Cucurella, or Ziyech in the Chelsea squad. So no Reece James again, guys. This is why there was a worry about bringing him in. He looks like he's injured again.
Is the confirmed transfer. So Ben White is out, Martinelli is out, and Kilman and Saka in for 2 free transfers. And I will confirm that now. So yeah, I'll probably have to rejiggle the players.
I'll let you do your team. I'll read out questions. Is Haaland going to play or be rested for Champions League? Now, Haaland should play. He's one of those players that, if he's fit, he usually plays. And if it's 2-3-0 up, let's say Man City are 3-0 up in 60 minutes, then Haaland will probably go off early. So I think Haaland will play, and with the view to bringing him off early if they're doing well. Would you start Ake over Trippier? No, I'd start Trippier, I think. Still think Trippier against Liverpool. Don't really want to take the risk because we've seen what Trippier's done this season. He can easily get a goal or a clean sheet even against Liverpool, because Liverpool did play well against Everton, but I think Newcastle is more of a tougher test. And if Liverpool can win today, I think they become a bit more of an option, because it's a tougher game for them, and we want to see what they do today. So I'll be waiting and seeing in regards. But Trippier for me, I'd be starting him. Bosniak, Shaw, White, Dawson, Trippier, Robertson, bench 1. Probably Dawson. I'll be benching. Al Najjar, Gabriel, Estupinian, or Kilman. Fazid said Martinelli benched. Is that true?
There was rumours that he would be benched and Trossard would start.
I've not heard that.
If that is the case, then I've made a good move getting rid of him.
If that's the case, then you definitely have. I mean, I've got Martinelli.
Oh, that's another issue.
I've not seen anything, Rigo. Where did you see that Fazid? Martinelli benched. I've not seen anything about Martinelli being benched, to be fair. Gabriel, Estupinian, or Kilman. I'm assuming who to bring in or who to start. Probably Kilman.
Yeah, I'm going to Kilman because I'm starting him.
I do like Gabriel for the attacking return. Potentially, he does have a threat on set pieces. If he hasn't scored for a while. Estupinian has Fulham, so could be a decent pick. But Kilman has Southampton at home, and Southampton do struggle to get goals. I've not seen anything in regards to Martinelli being benched.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me though if with his off form that he's benched, because Trossard did look better when he came on for him.
Well, that's made the team. That's made everything even worse, hasn't it? Martinelli's benched, and I've got to take him out. But who would I do it for, really? That's the problem.
Trossard, potentially.
Nah. This could be a bad game week.
What about Odegaard?
I could do Odegaard, actually.
Because you'll be set for the double then. You're bringing in Odegaard.
Yeah. But then Mitrovic is still a problem. I might just downgrade it to Andreas and take the money out of the team, and then use that money elsewhere in triple attack next week and get Nketiah, because I'd rather have Nketiah, I think, over Odegaard. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to Andreas Pereira, and then Nketiah. I just did not need that transfer, really. I might have to take a hit next week then. Martinelli benched in the last 10 minutes of the stream. Wow. So many rumors going around. I've seen some people say Nketiah benched.
I actually wouldn't mind that, because I've got Amaron coming on if he is.
Nah, I mean,
it does make sense to rotate because of the midweek fixtures that we just had, especially for those teams in particular. Man City, Arsenal, we're going to expect this rotation for players. So it doesn't really come as a surprise, but at the same time, it's annoying.
Yeah, I've seen a few people say Martinelli benched, and I don't even have the bench. That's the problem. So I would have just holding on to him if I had a decent bench, but I don't. So
Oh, that's Jesus is back. Who are they going to play from Ketia if he's benched?
and Ketia, Trossard, Saka up front potentially.
Could be a good week for Trossard then.
I might just keep Martinelli and hope he comes on because he will come on even if he is benched. He may come on for 30 minutes and get me 2 points, a blank. Because I don't really want to make another transfer. If I'm being honest.
Trossard won't play full 90. He'll probably be like when Martinelli starts, play 60 minutes and then come off.
Yeah. When do Arsenal kick off? It's an early kickoff, isn't it?
It is the early kickoff. But as we say with early kickoffs, don't back them because they do backfire.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna hold and not make any move. Damn. What are the odds of Arsenal having a clean sheet? And would you play a Brighton defender for Odegaard? No, I'd play Odegaard. Definitely. And Arsenal clean sheet. I think Villa can score, but
yeah,
it's one of those. It's a tight one, but I think Villa could score still. But I wouldn't be worried playing Ben White.
Yeah, I think Villa could score still. Hence why I took him out. Plus, I don't think Arsenal will keep many clean sheets upcoming, and because it's an away fixture as well, it's going to be tough for Arsenal to keep a clean sheet and not concede. Because Aston Villa are pretty good at home. Johnny says, "What do you think about going against Haaland captain?" Yeah, we've mentioned this in a previous question. Going against Haaland as captain, it's one of those because it could work out, but it couldn't obviously at the same time because there is obviously you could go for Rashford as the alternative captain, which wouldn't be such a bad idea because he does have Leicester at home, but he did play obviously midweek. Even though Haaland did as well, there is a one day in hand over Rashford because he did play 3 days ago, whereas Haaland did play 4 days ago. So there's that 1 day extra rest for Haaland. But I still personally wouldn't go against Haaland captain as it is still very dangerous, even though it could pay off going against him. Don't get me wrong. If you feel like it is the right idea, if you think Rashford or someone's going to get more points over Haaland, then yeah, for whatever reason, choose to do that, Johnny.
For game week 25, should I do Mahrez to Salah? Yes, I will do it, and Kane to Darwin. I might do that as well for the short term because I think you want a doublers, as I've said in previous game weeks. If a team has a double, then I'd rather bring in the Salah instead of a KDB or a Mahrez, definitely. Hi lads, good luck this week. I'll be looking to bounce back from a 6 million game week rank. Yes, it's been a strange game week. It was the game week 23, double game week 23. It was a good game week for me, but I know there was a lot of mixed scores in that game week.
Yeah, it wasn't great for me. It was a red arrow for me of 100k almost, as it was a very mixed bag of players that scored that you don't have in your team, like KDB or Saka or Mahrez. Those in particular were the rank killers in double game week 23, which I did not own any of those three. Hence why I had that 100k red arrow. But I'm hoping this week could be a turnaround, as there is going to be a lot of doubts, rotation, players switching in and out.
Mm-hmm.
We got a comment from H who says Botman or Kilman will roll my free transfer. It depends on your plans for the blank game week 25 if you're going to free hit or use your free transfers to navigate around the blank. So if you are going to use your transfers to navigate around the blank in 25, then I'd probably just roll the transfer. If you're looking to free hit though, I'd probably choose either Botman or Kilman. I'd probably go for Kilman, obviously because he has Bournemouth in 24 and then doubles in 25. So that would be my answer to that.
Does that mean who to bring in Kilman, or does he mean to play either?
I think whoever wants to bring in Botman or Kilman.
No, I'd save it. I roll it. Ben Mee or Ben White.
Ben Mee.
This week probably. Who's Ben Mee playing against Brentford?
Crystal Palace.
Yeah, maybe Ben Mee.
He has a home fixture too. Maybe he could score again.
You're not playing Ben Mee, are you?
No, he's on the bench for me this week.
Yeah, okay, cool. Ake and Basaka may not start. Who is more likely to start? Good question. Probably just keep Ake first bench. Maybe Wan-Bissaka second bench. Or maybe Ake more likely. But yeah. Would you go for Mitrovic instead of any of the following players? Odegaard, Estepinian, Gabriel Kimmon or Trippier? Would you go for Mitrovic instead? No, Odegaard. You start Odegaard. Even you start Trippier. I'd start Trippier as well. I don't know what exactly you mean by that question. Do you understand, Jordan, what he means?
Would you go for Mitrovic instead of any other of the following players? Probably not. I wouldn't go for...
No, I wouldn't go to bring in Mitrovic. I don't know what you mean by that question, Al Najjar, if I'm being honest, but I would start Odegaard out of those. Mitrovic or Odegaard, tough one.
Yeah, definitely Odegaard.
Odegaard, because Mitrovic is a slight doubt. I suppose the Dubs are down in Cork this weekend for a big Division 2 clash, says Brian. Mitoma or March?
Mitoma.
But yeah, both, I'd say. March does pick up points here and there.
There's only 2 minutes before the deadline, so make your transfers and plans, guys, because it is going to be over within a minute now.
Yep. A lot of people have benched Martinelli because they think he's going to be benched, so how annoying is that? So many problems arising last minute.
Less than a minute before deadline. Great Michael says Pope or Kepa. Probably Kepa. I think fixture-wise, Kepa has a better one. Chelsea have surprisingly kept a better clean sheet, their record as well. Newcastle have blanked back-to-back. Al says, which team is more likely to have a clean sheet out of Wolves, Newcastle, Brighton? Probably I'll say Wolves because they do have Bournemouth and they have struggled to really score, even though they did win 2-0 in the last game. I still think they can keep a clean sheet though, Wolves, against Brighton, especially with it being a home fixture for them as well. Whereas Newcastle one, they got Liverpool, could be a tricky one where they don't keep one. Brighton as well, against Fulham, could be a tricky fixture too. So I'll probably pick Wolves to have a likely clean sheet.
Yeah, the deadline's over.
Yep, deadline is over.
I didn't do the Martinelli switch in the end because there's rumours that it could be Nketiah that gets benched and Martinelli plays up front with Trossard on the left. but I have no idea. So I've just panicked and left it. I think next week I might take some hits. Martinelli will be going for my team, regardless, probably next week. But if he is benched, it's going to be very, very frustrating, especially if Mahrez gets benched as well. That will be two of my midfielders being benched. Plus Mitrovic, who's a doubt that could get benched. So I have 3 players on my team that, I am worried about this game week. I'll be happy to just hold my rank this week. I think I don't see me getting a green, but we'll see. Al Najjar, thank you for your hard work. All you guys make a great duo. We appreciate it all. Thank you for your comment. We appreciate it as always. And thank you for subscribing also. Appreciate it as well. And yeah, guys, I forgot to actually say today, if you have been watching the content and you've enjoyed it so far, don't forget to drop a like. You need more likes on the video because it helps YouTube push the videos out. So please like, please subscribe as well if you are new. Yeah, what a deadline. I mean, I'm not confident straight off the bat. I need to see this Arsenal lineup in about half an hour. It comes out.
Yeah, thankfully it's an early fixture, so we get to see the lineups very soon.
Yep. And there is the fixtures as well for game week 24.
That's a lot of fixtures for Saturday. Wow. 8 fixtures.
Quite a few Saturday fixtures, yeah. We'll do score predictions in a bit. Need Kane to have a good week, says Brian. Yeah, hopefully. I mean, without us owning Kane, then it could be bad for our rank if Kane does score against West Ham. Let's do some score predictions anyway. Deadline is up. I'm just going to leave my team. I'm not confident this week at all because of that Martinelli news that's just dropped, a bombshell. I hope it's not true. But, rumors are usually true. And that worries me. I should have just maybe done Martinelli to Odegaard. Last minute change. Should have maybe done it. Don't know. Farzid says, gone Rashford captain last second as I'm way behind in mini leagues.
I like it.
There you go. It could definitely pay off. Okay, Jordan, score predictions. Let's get them out of the way. We've got Arsenal up against Villa. Arsenal haven't won, I believe, in 3. I think they need to win to bounce back against Aston Villa. It is an early kickoff, 12:30. Arsenal did play on Wednesday, so a Saturday early kickoff maybe makes a slight could make it a banana skin. What's your thoughts on Villa v Arsenal?
I think Arsenal will win the game. Definitely, I think they need to win, and I think the score will be 2-1 Arsenal.
2-1 Arsenal.
Yeah.
Is Tyrone Mings back for that game? By the way, because I need to kind of know.
He will be assessed ahead of this game. That's all we know, really.
Okay.
What the manager said in the press conference.
I'm gonna be very controversial, and it might backfire on me. I'm gonna say 1-1.
Whoa.
I think it might be a bit of a mad game. I don't know. It's just a guess. I think it could be 1-1. I'm gonna be different and go 1-1 Arsenal Villa. Did you say 2-1 Arsenal?
Yeah, I think 2-1 Arsenal. I think they really need to win, and if it is as predicted, if Martinelli is benched and Trossard plays up front with Nketiah and Saka, then it could make things really interesting for the attack.
Okay, moving on to Brentford Palace, which is another game today, 3:00 kickoff, I think. So, a few of us own Tony. Some people have Mbuemo, Ben Mee, etc. What do you think for this game? Also, guys, if you are watching, please don't forget to drop a like on the video. Also, subscribe to the channel if you are new. We want to get the likes up, and also put your score predictions in the comments as well. It would be nice to hear from you guys. Brian says 2-1 to Arsenal, which is agreeing with you. Brentford Palace for me. I'm gonna go for a 2-0 Brentford win, home win.
Yeah, I think Brentford could do well in this fixture. I think 3-0 possibly for Brentford.
Oh, okay, 3-0. I feel like Palace haven't won a game in ages, to be fair. So
No, it feels like they've really struggled to win a game.
yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna go for the 2-0 Brentford win. Moving on to Brighton Fulham. This I'll be looking out for this game to see if Mitrovic starts. Hopefully he does because I need it. I've not got much on the bench. So I'm gonna go for a. I'm gonna go for a 3-1, 2-1 actually. I'm gonna go 2-1 Brighton. I think Brighton will win. Now hopefully Mitrovic can get a goal. So any starts. So I'll go 2-1 Brighton.
I'll probably say 1-1.
Okay, 1-1 for you.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's move on to another game. Chelsea Southampton. We know Reece James isn't gonna play. He's been left out the squad apparently, as well as Thiago Silva, as well as Cucurella. So a lot of big players for Chelsea, and we know a lot of managers have transferred in João Felix. We'll be looking an eye out on him, what he does in that game. It's going to be a big game for Chelsea. Obviously, Chelsea are, pretty much mid-table right now. They need to get that win. Southampton is a good fixture for them at home to get back to winning ways. What's your predictions for this game?
Well, can't really see a clean sheet coming from Chelsea with the amount of defenders they're missing as key. I'm going to probably say it's probably 2-1 Chelsea. I don't think the clean sheet they'll keep.
2-1 Chelsea.
Yep.
I'll agree. I think I'll agree there. I'm gonna go for a. Actually, no. I'm not. I'm gonna go 1-0 Chelsea. I think it'll be. I think Chelsea will have chances, but they'll miss a few. But they'll end up winning anyway, 1-0, and I think they'll keep a clean sheet. So Kepa owners again, I think will be rewarded with a clean sheet, which is annoying because I should have had him in my team. Um, Moving on to Everton and Leeds. It's kind of a big game for Everton after losing the Merseyside derby to Liverpool. They need to bounce back. Leeds as well, losing in the last few game weeks as well against Man United or last game week. What's your predictions for Everton Leeds?
Everton Leeds. I don't really see neither team scoring, so I'll probably say 0-0.
Okay, cool. Everton are at home, so I'm gonna go for a 1-1 as well. I'm gonna go for a draw, 1-1 win, 1-1 win, 1-1 draw for the game. I think there won't be a clean sheet in this one. I don't think, but we'll see. Not many of us have Everton players at all, really. Some have Patterson or Tarkovsky. Gononto, a lot of managers probably own him, but other than that, not really anyone else. Moving on to Nottingham Forest and Man City. Hopefully Mahrez does start. Hopefully KDB does start. Obviously, in my sense, because I have both. Haaland is our captain. What's your predictions for this game? Forest have slightly improved in recent weeks, but it is City.
Yeah, they are missing a lot of players from that match for Nottingham Forest. I think 6 or 5 are missing. That's including 2 centre backs. For Man City, I'd probably say this could be a very high scoring match. This could be 3-0, I think, Man City.
Oh, okay. You go 3-0.
Hopefully for the clean sheet, please.
I could see a clean sheet in this one, if I'm being honest. So, I mean, if Edison doesn't keep a clean sheet in this one, I'll be surprised. But I'll go for a 2-0 win for Man City. Hopefully, KDB double would be nice. Moving on to Wolves at home to Bournemouth, another 3 o'clock game. What's your take on this one? We don't own many. I don't own many assets from Wolves and Bournemouth.
I've just brought one in for Wolves, and that's Kilman. So I'm hoping for a clean sheet for Wolves, especially for the home fixture. I think this will be probably 1-0 to Wolves. we all know Wolves are not really the goal scorers of teams, so I
Yeah.
imagine it will be very low.
You're going 1-0 to Wolves, right?
Yeah,
I'm going to go 2-1 Wolves. I think Bournemouth will score, but I think Wolves will end up winning. They'll probably get a late winner, I think, in that one. So yeah, Wolves as well, 2-1. And for me, the game of the day is Newcastle Liverpool at 5:30 UK time. Big game. Newcastle have only lost one game all season, and that was actually against Liverpool, surprisingly, early on during the season. Other than that, Newcastle haven't lost any other game. They're unbeaten at home, I think, as well. Um, so this is a bit of a tough test for Liverpool. Liverpool have struggled, especially post World Cup. They did pick up a win against Everton. They looked a lot better against Everton, but we know Liverpool have been very inconsistent this season where they've gone on one and then they've gone and played a very bad game the next week. So can Liverpool win back-to-back games for what feels like ages? So big game for both teams. I mean, Newcastle will want to win as well because Newcastle have been dropping off slightly, picking up quite a few draws. Um, yeah, this is a big one, Jordan. Where do you see this game going? Trippier, obviously, a lot of us own him. A lot of people are looking at Liverpool as well because they double next week. So, maybe early scouting going on there. What do you think for that fixture, Liverpool v Newcastle?
this could be a swing towards Liverpool because Newcastle have sustained a few key injuries. Like Wilson, for example, is a sort of a minor injury on his hamstring. And I think the midfielder for Newcastle was injured too in the previous match. So there is a bit of balance in terms of Newcastle not looking the strongest as they did before with these injuries involved. So I think Liverpool could win this game, and I think 2-1 win for Liverpool.
So you're going 2-1 for Liverpool?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We've got a few comments coming in regards Liverpool. Faze says 3-1 Liverpool, but Feezy says 3-0 Newcastle. So a lot of differing views on this one. It's quite hard to call, I'd say.
Yeah.
Newcastle, we know, have a Carabao Cup final next Sunday against Manchester United, so they'll have one eye on that as well. I don't think they will make many changes in regards because there's still a week left to that final. Liverpool looked better against Everton, but it was Everton who are struggling, so I think Newcastle is a different test. I don't know really, as a Liverpool fan, it's I'm not sure where it's going to go this one. I think Liverpool need to win as well. If Liverpool win, though, I believe Liverpool have a strong chance for top four if they can win today. But it's very what's the word? It's not going to be easy for Liverpool because I look at the league table, right? If I just bring the Premier League table up, today's a massive game between these two clubs. I genuinely believe that for even the top four race because right now Liverpool are ninth. But if Liverpool win, they will go four. Well, if Liverpool win, they'll go 4 points behind Spurs, I believe, with 2 games in hand. Well, actually, let's compare them to Newcastle. So Newcastle on 41 points, aren't they?
Yes, I think so.
Sorry, if Liverpool win today, they'll go 6 points behind Newcastle with a game in hand. So if they win the game in hand, it could be 3 points to Newcastle. And bearing in mind how bad Liverpool have been this season, 3 points, they could cut it to if they win against Newcastle. I think it's a big game for Liverpool. And if they win, dare I say it, that top four maybe, but it's a big if. They need to beat Newcastle. It's not going to be easy. But I'm going to back Liverpool in this one, I think. I'm going to go 2-1 Liverpool. But maybe that's more just me thinking as a Liverpool fan because I think it's going to be a tough game. So yeah, I'll go 2-1 Liverpool as well. But yeah, those are our score predictions out the way for Saturday. And let's move on to Sunday's games where Manchester United play home at Leicester. Do you want to take this one? What do you think it's going to be? The scores, how it's going to pan out?
I'm kind of imagining a 3-0 win for Man United in that one. I think that'd be a pretty good win at home for Man United. I think it'd be very important points as well because we are closing in on that the second spot. Whether that's going to be Arsenal, Man City, and that after they've played, but yeah, it's going to be important 3 points for us if we can win at Leicester.
Yeah, the 3-0 for you. I'm gonna go different. I think it will be. I think Leicester will score. I don't see Man United keeping a clean sheet, if I'm honest. So I'm gonna go for a 2-1 Man United win. Maybe even 3-1. And I'll stick with 2-1. I think it'll be 2-1, and I do think Leicester will score. Leicester have been looking a bit better in terms of goals in recent weeks. They've put 4 past Tottenham, didn't they, last weekend? So I think they will score. Madison looks a lot better now. Barnes is looking better. Iheanacho is all getting involved in goals. So yeah, I think it will be 2-1. But I think Man United will probably get enough to win, especially being at home. I'll back Man United. Moving on to Spurs and West Ham on Sunday as well. That's the final game. On the Sunday, we are back again, guys. Straight after Spurs West Ham, we will be back again, live streaming on a knee-jerk reaction stream where we react to Game Week 24. I'm sure it's going to be a good stream. So make sure you do tune in for Sunday 7 p.m. While we go live. If you aren't subscribed, make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out on any content. If you are enjoying this content, please help us show your support by dropping a like. That's what we ask for. Let's predict Spurs West Ham. What's your opinion on that game, Jordan? How do you think it's going to go?
I think Spurs should be able to win that game, especially at home as well. With West Ham struggling so far in the Premier League, I do think Spurs will take the win. I think they need it as well because they are struggling to get up the table from being near Chelsea in a similar position. So they would want to try and get for that top 4 spot. So I think the results of that game, I think Spurs can win potentially 2-1.
Also, there are some news regarding Spurs. Bentancur, the Spurs midfielder, apparently now, not apparently, it's confirmed, he has an ACL injury. He is out for the rest of the season. So that's a massive blow to Tottenham. Bentancur injured for the rest of the season. I believe also Basuma, I think it's Basuma, another one of their midfielders, is out for 8 weeks or so. So that's 2 midfielders have lost for the foreseeable. Will that play a big impact? I believe it will, because Bentancur is one of Spurs' best midfielders. So that's going to be a big loss, but don't know how to call this one. Spurs being at home, I think I'm going to go for 2-1 Spurs. I think it'll be a tight game. I think West Ham will score. So yeah, I think I'll back the home side again, Spurs 2-1. And yeah, that's the way I think it will pan out in terms of Game Week 24. Yeah, let us know your thoughts, guys, in the comments. Let us know your score predictions as well. I'm going to read out the ones I've missed. Dan says Brentford to win 1-0 against Palace. Brighton to win 2-0 against Fulham. Chelsea to win 3-0. He says Dan. Everton is going 1-0. And then FPL Feezy is going 2-2 for Man United and Leeds. Man United and Leicester, sorry.
Hopefully not. I want the 3 points.
Yeah, so it's just fairly good week for football. Newcastle Liverpool is going to be a good one today, and then tomorrow you've got Man United Leicester. Usually, actually a high scoring game. Usually Leicester Man United. So don't be surprised, guys. 2-2. But Leicester have to show a bit more. They have been in recent weeks. To be fair to them. Yeah, that's it, guys. Pretty much. That's all the score predictions out the way. There is still about 10 minutes left till Arsenal lineup comes out. So I don't know. We should maybe stay on to see.
Yeah.
Is there any news regarding that? Any early news? Because sometimes it comes out before the 11:30, doesn't it?
Yeah, sometimes it does. I think I'd be very shocked and surprised at this, whatever this Arsenal lineup is going to be. So I think it's definitely worth the wait to see what the confirmed lineup will be.
A lot of people are saying Nketiah benched as well, and I know you own Nketiah.
Yeah, I don't mind as much Nketiah bench because I do have a good bench to cover.
Who would come on for you if Nketiah was benched?
Almiron would come on for Nketiah.
You're fine either way, really.
Yeah.
For me, I would be a bit in trouble, really, if mine only was bench, because I don't have a bench.
This is half the reason why I wanted a strong bench after obviously the World Cup, just to have it all set up for when rotation plays a part.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to Gameweek 25 now, if I'm honest. There's going to be big changes in my team. Hits potentially -4 on the cards, maybe even a -8 if I.
Ooh.
-8 is not as likely. -4 definitely could be likely for my team in game week. Game week 25. So yeah, watch this space. But yeah, game week 24. Looking forward. I'm not really looking forward to it, if I'm being honest. I think it could be a bad week. Yeah, Farzi says now everyone is saying Martinelli starting as a striker. Yeah, this is what I've seen as well.
There is no solid news.
Yeah,
Let's just say it's just
yeah,
rumors flowing around.
yeah. I wouldn't believe anyone yet claiming anything. I've not seen anyone credible that I usually listen to. But you know, if there's rumors going around, we've seen it this season. That usually is true, and I'm just hoping it's not. Also, guys, as always, make sure you drop a like on the video. Make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you are tuned in. Also, if you can, please do share the video on your Twitter or whatever socials you use. Really helps the channel grow as well. Also, we will be making a Discord. We'll be making a Discord server. I just need to get to that. I know a few of you subscribers asked us to make a Discord, but we will be making that soon. Do stay tuned in. I've just not had as much time recently, so Discord is coming on the way, and you guys can join on and we can chat about FPL. Felix or Tony? If it's this week, I prefer Felix, but Tony is also a good pick if I'm being honest against Palace at home. But I'd go with Felix as the differential play. But yeah, both are good picks this week. We're just gonna wait now until the Arsenal lineup. Really, there's not long to go.
Yeah.
What 5-6 minutes until Arsenal?
Yeah,
Whether we hit
minutes.
If Nketiah does get benched though, does that make him a worry for game week 25 if he start both?
I don't think so because Arsenal did play midweek in that one, so maybe you'd want to rest Nketiah for this one and play him in the double.
Potentially, because I was looking at Nketiah maybe bringing him in actually and taking out Martinelli and switching him to Nketiah, similar to you how Martinelli to Saka, because I already own Saka. So Nketiah is one that I've looked at, but if he gets benched today, what does that mean for game week 25? Is the worry. Maybe I should have maybe just bought Odegaard in now and played it safe.
It's a weird one. Why Nketiah would be benched, but at the same time I see why, because of rotation.
And Nketiah also had a few blanks, hasn't he? Since he scored that double against United, I don't think he scored either.
I think he got an assist from that Saka penalty, but that's it. Yeah, he's blanked, more or less. He's had good chances to score, but
yeah, he had a very good chance, I think, against even against City. He had a really nice chance. I think it was a header that he should have maybe scored.
I think it came off his shoulder instead of his head, which I think that's probably what made him miss.
Yeah. Also, I just want to shout out to all the new subscribers I've just checked. Thank you to all of you who have subscribed to our channel. If you haven't already, please do so. It really helps us grow the channel and keep making videos for you guys. I'm looking forward to game week 25 now. Transfers already. I'm gonna be doing some big moves. I think. Have you got any plans? Obviously, on a free hit. You're on a free hit, pretty much confirmed, aren't you? Really?
Yeah, I've got many players blanking. Let me just bring up how much players actually blanking. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got 10 players that are going to blank in game week 25. So I think free hitting is definitely the avenue I'm going down. Here's part of my plan was to use a free hit because of Brentford double in 27, Wolves double in 27. No, sorry, they don't double in 27. But for those, like Brentford in particular, double, I'd want to keep and hold of them, especially for Ben Mee and Tony, because I'd want them for that game week 27. So I didn't want to get rid of them, as well as Man United as well, who have good fixtures after the blank. I feel like it's worth holding on to them as
Who
well. So.
have you thought about an early free hit team for Game Week 25? We should maybe make it. We'll make a video probably on a free hit Game Week 25. I think we should do that. Maybe Monday. We'll make a free hit video. I think if you're on it.
Yeah, we can do it Monday. I mean, I thought some players to bring in for the free hit. I was tinkering with it yesterday, but I'm not entirely set on this.
Who's a must-have? Would you say? I'll bring up the Game Week 25 fixtures. Actually, right now, which mind us, guys. We're just quickly looking at Game Week 25. If anyone's got any other questions, actually, that they want us to answer, drop it in the comments below, and we'll try our best to answer it. We're just going to look at a little quick Game Week 25. Who are your main must-haves? Because you look at Arsenal, Everton, Liverpool, Wolves. They have the double game week. Are you preferring? Are you going to stack up on those teams? And because you're on a free hit, will you be tempted to bring in Everton, Wolves? Because most of us managers won't be able to get them. Because you're in that position where you can change your whole team. What's your thoughts?
If Everton in particular, I've not really looked at any players from that team at all. I don't think I'll be bringing any Everton players, and I don't think it's really worth it because I'm not really sure who's really going to get points in that, especially that game against Aston Villa. It's not going to be easy.
Pickford, maybe, as a goalie.
Even defenders and goalkeepers for Everton, we've seen their clean sheet record. It's been really terrible. I mean, it's probably upside if they do keep one clean sheet in the double, but they've got Aston Villa and Arsenal, and I don't really see a clean sheet from either of those fixtures. So the most you'll probably get.
Obviously, it's the 4 points you'll get for having Pickford anyway, and if he does something, it's one of those. But who would you be targeting, like in terms of from this game week? Because obviously you're on a free hit, you're a very different position.
Yeah. Well, I'll probably be targeting definitely Salah. I definitely want in the team. Potentially Trent as well. I think he would be an interesting pick, or maybe Robertson, either one of those two.
Will you be going triple Liverpool then? Because
I'll probably go double Liverpool. I don't think I'll be going triple. I think double's enough. For Aston Villa though, I'd want Ollie Watkins. I think he's a good forward pick. That even though he's got low ownership, he's a good differential if he's to get anything against Everton. Because I think that's going to be, even though he's a single game week player in that double, I think he'll be a good single player to go for my free hit. Potentially Bowen as well as another single game week player. I know Bowen hasn't had the greatest of season so far. I mean, he's been blanking a lot, but he's had a double haul every now and then in the fixtures, and potentially could do against Nottingham Forest. So he could be a nice midfielder pick to go for, who no one would really consider, as he has not been the greatest. In particular, West Ham haven't either, but that could be a fixture where he could thrive in. Other than that, I mean, Chelsea as well could be tempted at maybe Enzo Fernandez or maybe João Felix, even though they have Spurs. Spurs do concede quite a few goals every now and then in their fixtures, so it could be a high scoring one maybe for João Felix. But again, he takes up a forward spot, and if we already have Haaland and maybe Nketiah already, that only leaves that third one where it could be Ollie Watkins or Darwin Núñez or João Felix. We're a bit spoiled for choice in that forward slot.
Yeah, I'd like to bring in a doubler for those games. Obviously for Arsenal, you got Odegaard, Saka, Nketiah. Those are probably going to be the most popular. Maybe triple Arsenal attack definitely is on a free hit. Everton,
definitely.
Pickford, Tarkowski, more the defenders, I'd say. Liverpool, you've got Trent, you've got Robertson, maybe you've got Salah, you've got Darwin. You might have a Gakpo, take a punt on Gakpo, someone like that, because not many managers will be able to get to Gakpo. You would be able to. If you want to be risky, maybe Jota, if he shows something, if he plays. Van Dijk's back as well. So Wolves, who could you target from Wolves as well?
I think
we'll probably do a video on it, a free hit team.
Yeah, I think definitely
okay.
Defender.
Breaking news: Martinelli is benched. So the rumors were right.
True.
He's benched. Wow. Ben White starts, by the way, for those owners. Also, I own Ben White, so he does start, but Nketiah does start. So the team is not much has changed. Ramsdale, Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, Zinchenko, Jorginho, Xhaka, Odegaard, Saka, Trossard, and Nketiah. So it's basically Trossard in for Martinelli. Martinelli's benched, as well as Tomiyasu is on the bench. Smith Rowe's back on the bench though, so interesting. But wow. Yeah, I don't know what that means for my team. It's not good for my team. But I know Martinelli will come on. So I'm hoping, even if he gets me a point or two, it's what it is. I knew of the risk. I was going to do Martinelli to Odegaard last minute. So, yeah. Also, Mings does start. We spoke about Tyrone Mings. He's playing. He's starting. So that's good news in case there's something else happens in my team, regardless of that. But yeah, Martinelli benched, guys. Partey's not in the squad due to injury, I believe.
Yep, that's a major blow for Arsenal whenever Partey is injured.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there you go, guys. Don't know what that means. It's not great news. Martinelli being benched. For those that missed the deadline, I was gonna do Martinelli to Odegaard last minute, but the reason I didn't do it was because that would make me take even more hits next weekend, I think. And I think I want Nketiah over Odegaard anyway for my third Arsenal.
Definitely. I think in my free hit, my triple Arsenal will be Nketiah, Saka, and Odegaard. I'm definitely set on that in my free hit as the triple Arsenal attack. Yeah, that's going to do really well.
Fair enough. There you go. Martinelli rumors are true. But yeah, we're probably going to wrap it up here. We're probably going to just obviously stream it over an hour now, hour and a half. So if you guys, have enjoyed it, all we ask for is you to like the video and share it as well on your socials or on your, whatever, Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, if you use WhatsApp. And just show a friend if they play FPL. But yeah, it's been a good chat. And we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you again on Sunday for the knee-jerk stream. Knee-jerk live reaction, 7 p.m. Should be a good one. So make sure you guys are locked in for that one. Anyway, we're going to go enjoy the football. A lot of football this Saturday. I'm looking forward to it. Liverpool, the big one, 5:30. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Anyway, for now, that's it from us. Anything else you'd like to add, Jordan? I just want to say, actually, good luck as well to everyone.
Yes, good luck, everyone. And thank you for watching for this long stream. Hope you all liked it. Appreciate all the questions and you're obviously watching throughout. It's appreciated always. Have a nice weekend. Enjoy the football. There's a lot to watch. Hopefully you all get nice green arrows. And yeah, take care. And obviously we'll see you for the knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah, see you Sunday and have a good weekend, guys. Take care.